Hey everybody, I'm QB for Culturalist Theory, and today we are ranking the discography of Grammy-nominated Baltimore native Mario. Note, this list will not include any EPs or compilations. Remember to give this video a thumbs up and comment if you like what you see, subscribe if you love it, and share it with your friends. Now that that's out of the way, let's get to it. Number 5, DNA. Kicking off our list today is 2009's DNA. Mario has steadily been making his mark as one of the more talented R&B vocalists of the 2000s when he decided, as artists do, to depart from what they've done and been known for and experiment a little. Some experiments are more successful than others. In this case, despite Mario's undeniable vocal talent, the abandonment of the traditional R&B fare and the format of his 3 previous albums was not super successful. Mario worked with some of the industry's top producers to create the album's dance, pop, EDM, and trap beats. Dark Child, Polo de Don, Red One, and Jazzy Faye to name a few. And of course, we can't forget about the breakout single from this project, Break Up, featuring Gucci Mane. It was written by Sean Garrett and produced by Mr. Bangladesh. Break Up's peak at number 2 and gold certification made this his most commercially successful single in 5 years. The other songs that received radio play were far from top 10 hits. Thinking About You, Stranded, and Ooh Baby topped out at 45, 84, and 95 respectively. Another thing of note is a Big Sean feature on Before She Said Hi, if you're interested in getting a taste of how far he's come lyrically. Although debuting at number 9 doesn't sound too bad, for Mario, selling just 38,000 copies in the first week was his lowest selling debut, and clear that Mario was no longer commanding the charts like he had before. Mention some of these producers' names a lot in these episodes. Let us know in the comments whether you want to see some producer content coming up. Number 4, Dancing Shadows. During the 9 years between this album and its predecessor, DNA, Mario had experienced a series of false starts and setbacks, including the disbanding of Clive Davis's J Records, who signed Mario at 14. He eventually left the parent company, RCA, too, due to creative differences, multiple shelf projects, and leaked singles. So the release of Dancing Shadows is a triumph in itself, even without charting. This was the first release off his own New Citizen Music imprint and the distribution from Empire. He co-EP'd this project with Jack Gosselin. Mario also had a stronger hand in the songwriting than he had on previous records, having a credit on every track in this album. As usual, Mario delivers beautiful vocal performances and some particularly rangy stuff in his upper register. Whether on a dance beat like What You Started and I Believe, or ballads like Care For You, or new school R&B like Goes Like That, Mario navigates the melody with precision and emotion. Dancing Shadows is a compact 38-minute where the influences of Michael Jackson and Usher help make this a feel-good R&B record anchored in soul. Number 3, Go. Go is in the middle of Mario's discography, and it's in the middle of our list today. Released in 2007, this album comes at a transitional point in Mario's life. He was turning 21, and in his career where he was continuing to mature in his content and evolve his sound. He worked with Jermaine Dupri, Scott Storch, Timbaland, and Brian Michael Cox, among others. The singles from this project are How Do I Breathe, produced by Stargate, Crying Out For Me, produced by Polo de Don, and Music for Love. Another highlight on this record is the track Do Right. Mario dedicates this song and the album to his mother, who struggled with a heroin addiction. Do Right's release coincided with an MTV show Mario did with his mother and the founding of the Do Right Foundation, which has the mission to educate and inspire children of addicts. But much of the album sounds like 8701 alternate, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because in our opinion, any comparison to Usher is a positive. Go was actually released in South Africa under the largest and oldest independent label there, Gallo Records, 2 months before its release in the States. But it is here that you can see him start to lose steam with some fans, slipping from the charts and fading from his early commercial success. Number 2, Mario. Mario burst on the scene with his reimagining of the Biz Markie classic Just a Friend. Mario's take as a lovelorn teenager instead of the cuckold from the original track was fresh and connected with audiences in a new way. It also led to 700,000 albums sold. The single itself too outperformed the original on the Billboard chart, being at number 4 versus the number 9 position like the Biz Markie version. Just a Friend was originally meant to go on a subsequently shelved Usher project, All About You, which we talked about in the Usher ranking that you can check out later. But we are lucky enough to get Mario's version, which is just outside bubblegum pop/R&B with an age-appropriate edge. Throughout the album, Mario is pursuing girls and going on dates from the perspective of a more or less wholesome 15-year-old, like on Holla, Come On, and What Your Name Is. He turns around from a love lost on Could You Be, and gets a little melancholy on Braid My Hair. Mario mixed it up on the whole album with up-tempo, ballads, and stuff for the radio. We have Warren Campbell, The Underdogs, and Gerard Isaac to thank for that, since they crafted most of the album. There's also an early appearance from a young Alicia Keys, who wrote and produced 2 Train. Mario is a great record worth revisiting for nostalgia purposes. Number 1, Turning Point. Born from a sophomore slump, Turning Point was a career definer for Mario. Not only does it contain his best-selling single, but also his one and only Grammy nomination for Best Male R&B Vocal Performance. Now, our lists aren't all about commercial success or critical critical acclaim, but these two aspects make a case for this to be #1 today. The double platinum Let Me Love You was written by songwriter turned superstar Ne-Yo and produced by Scott Storch. The single debuted at #97, but went on to reign over the Billboard 100 for 9 weeks in a row. We bet Ne-Yo wish he kept that one for himself. How Could You, produced by the Underdogs and Boom, featuring Juvenile and produced by Lil Jon, which is made even more obvious by the window to the wall reference, were his less successful follow-up singles. Turning Point also features diverse appearances and explores new sounds, like Baby Sham on Girl I Need, which has a little reggae flavor. He's more aggressive and direct on Call the Cops. Nike's Fresh Out the Box is an 18-year-old's version of You Remind Me of My Jeep. The youngest sounding song is Like Me Real Hard for all the commitment folks out there. And Dan's song Shakedown to end the album. Mario was eager to show that he was more mature on this album and succeeded without going over the top, and that puts Turning Point in the top of our list. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and tap in with the super thing. Until next time, I'm QB. I'll see you then.